is very important to us. Please hold.
Hello and welcome back to
On Hold with Lulu and
Hello
Roman.
and welcome back.
Please hold.
Hello,
On Hold.
welcome back. Hello and welcome back.
Please hold.
On Hold with Lulu and Roman.
Hello, welcome back. Hello, welcome back.
Please hold.
Hello and welcome back to On Hold. I am Lindiwe. It's good to see you and thank you for watching always. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe just to also support and the work that I do. I appreciate everybody who subscribes. I know a lot of you watch without subscribing. Please just subscribe. It doesn't charge anything. It rather helps also with the work and what I am doing with my passion. So please support, subscribe, and if you haven't subscribed, if you have, thank you so much. I appreciate it a lot. I want today to talk about the impact of boarding school on me. So I don't know if maybe I have said it in one of my videos or not, but I'm a boarding school girl. I went there when I was around 11ish, 12. I was in grade 6. So I guess going there also, it would help if you got context of my life before then. But I think for the sake of this video, I just want to talk about just that impact of boarding school. No, I don't want to talk about boarding school life, how it was. That's another story. But I just want to talk about the impact it had on me and my life right now and as an adult and where I am. Boarding school is great. There's benefits to going to boarding school because kids that are antisocial get to be social. They get to meet with their peers, to a lot of things. You have friends. So it's quite good, especially for other children who are not in very stable households, where there's violence and all sorts of things, and it can really be destructive. So for a child like that, for them to go to boarding school, it helps because they are removed from that trauma and that pain that is in their homes and placed at least in a structured place away from that, where they can be with their peers and be children. Okay, some people go to boarding school for discipline issues because at home maybe that you're being a delinquent or something and come. So there's a lot of reasons why people come to boarding school. So depending on the reason why you are sending your child to boarding school, you must just be aware and clear that as much as a parent, because as parents, we're the ones that decide that we're taking our children to boarding school because of our own circumstances and the situation that we're trying to make easy. Okay, either for the child where you see the child is like in a bit of danger, or for yourself because you're traveling, you work so much, you know, you don't have enough time to give to the children or their attention, whatever. So you take them to boarding school from Monday to Friday, fetch them on weekends, whatever the reason is. It's okay. At that time, it's about you. It's how how you see life. What I want to let you know is that child also has experiences, and there's an impact on that decision you're making on them. It depends also where they are and how you handle the whole situation about sending them to boarding school. Anyway, let me tell my story and then hope you will understand. So I was 11, 12, turning to 12. I was young. I was at a time where I needed validation. I needed a sense of identity. I was preteen. So I was looking. I was looking for, and your mind is opening up at like 10, 11, 12. You're starting to look at life differently, to understand certain things about life differently. You're no longer like that child and naive. You start asking questions. You start absorbing specific things. And I did. My mind was curious. My mind was open. My mind was listening. And I was like a sponge. I was like taking in things. And they were not bad things. It was a Christian school. At home, we're Christians. So it was not horrible things, honestly. The only thing that it did was it made me feel removed from my family at home. So when I went back after the first term, after the first term of my first year there, already I was feeling out of place. I was feeling like I'm different. I was feeling like I'm thinking different from what I've been taught and what I've been maybe exposed to, and what I'm starting to understand, what I'm starting to believe in, as opposed to back at home. And worse, at home, it was also different because it was not as aggressive. The value building was not as aggressive as it was at school. At school, it's a daily thing. You do this every day. You pray every day. This, you know, the routine was aggressive. It was in your face. It was like there was no time to escape it. So it was a lot. So you had no chance but to take it. Whereas at home, it's a bit relaxed because the parents are believing, I'm raising this child, I'll teach them this when they are older, I'll teach them this when they're this age. Not knowing that at that time, I'm open, taking in. I remember writing my mother a letter about specifically religion, and saying, but because it was the first time I was exposed to like charismatic churches as opposed to almost traditional Christian churches. Why this, why that, why this, why that? I don't remember getting a response, but I don't know whether I was expecting a letter back from my mother or what. I don't know, but I don't think we even had a conversation about it, you know. But I started to feel different, and I started to feel disconnected. And I remember that was my first year. I finished matric in boarding school. So every quarter, every year, I drift further and further and further away, especially because things are different. Like, I don't know how to put it. In school, when I asked a question, whether I'm asking a teacher or what I'm asking, they will answer directly, and I admired that because I was looking for answers and I was asking. At home, you ask a question, like, hey, you're too young to be asking such questions. You know how we are as parents. We already think, so you get kind of like you're kind of dismissed. And now I felt, okay, my safety is here, and I can ask, and I'm not judged, and I'm not treated like a child, and I'm not dismissed. So that made me very removed from my own nuclear family. I became different. I didn't fit in. I didn't feel like I was fitting in. I didn't feel connected. I felt like our values were different. I felt like how we prioritized things was different. If number one for my mom was this, my number one was something else. And I had my reason and my opinions about why. We fought a lot because I had now firmed up my opinions based on what I was taught at school. And I mean, it sounds like a typical teenager, like, yeah, they listen to their teachers and their friends, what. I get it. I just think with boarding school is even, it's deeper because you don't even see your child every day. Worst part, we only saw our parents possibly once a month or even once a quarter. So there's a lot of space where you as a parent don't have time or don't have the luxury to impart or be present or pour something into your child. It's a big gap for a child in those ages. I know now. It's a long time to be away. And you come back, you turn around, and your child has learned or has adopted something else, a value that is different from yours. And what you are doing is trying to reel it back and convince her and whatever. And it takes a long time. So for me personally, I never went, winning me back into the family priorities, the values, the principles, or maybe the beliefs especially, never worked. Till today. Till today. I'm always the odd one out, the one who thinks not like everybody. And I'm not saying I'm thinking better than anybody. I'm just saying I'm different. I'm always, you know, when other people or maybe my siblings and my mom think things this way and they believe it this way and they agree this way because that's how they've always done it. I'm always the one that is like opposing or not agreeing or seeing things differently. So my appeal to parents is that it's a good thing. It relieves you, it gives you security and all of that, but you need to stay close to your children because it can pull you apart forever. And you will struggle to find that child back so that you can reconnect, so that you can bring back the intimacy and the understanding. It may take time, and sometimes you may not be successful, or one of you will get tired very quickly and drop the effort. Because if you don't stay connected, then the impact is big, because you will forever be a stranger to your children, or forever feel like there's just no gelling because they've picked up things that are different from you. My other advice is, if that happens, as parents, I don't think you should be fighting with your children to say, I don't even know where you learned those things and where you get them from and anything like that. You just need to be, if they're not destructive values, whether they are like yours or they're not like yours, you should just be okay. Just be happy that your child is somebody they look forward to, who has better principles or who has good principles as well, and they will guide them through life. And I'm talking about anything. And maybe I'm not giving very tangible examples, but I'm hoping that you understand what I mean. Similar thing happens with parents who drop children with their mothers. So when your children have been raised by their grandparents, there's a certain level of that separation, and not being there is difficult. You've got to be sure that you can gel back with your child, and that they don't see you differently. Like you just come and visit and go, come visit and go. Because at the time you're going to say, I don't like what you're doing. They'll be like surprised, like, you don't like what I'm doing. You don't even live with me every day, you know. So let the holidays end, you go, and I can do this because grandma allows me to do this. So when now you come with your own rules at this time, and just because you're on holidays and you want to suppress me or tell me what to do. I mean, I stay here with the grandparents and we are happy, we do our thing, and they allow me this and this and that. Now you want to tell me you don't like this and this and that. It becomes very difficult when, I think sometimes you guys will see it, because grandparents are very, they're not strict on their grandchildren. They will let them sleep late, and they will let them be on the phones, maybe even beyond sleeping time. And you're like, hey, mama, these people are supposed to be sleeping. Now you are there when I'm his parent now. These people are supposed to be sleeping. And then they look at you like, when are you leaving? When are you going back to your flat or whatever? When are you leaving? And those things are those moments where you drift apart. The day you want to be close to your child, you don't understand each other. You don't get it. You didn't. There's a big gap, and somebody else filled it in with something else. Not a bad thing, but that is different from how you would have done it. And now you want to bring it back and change them and say, now and bring in your rules. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. And it might take a long time for you to actually get them to understand your side of the story and how you do things. Because they're like, I don't understand why you even bothered. I'm fine. I've been doing this for a long time. And yeah, and then the conflict starts there, and you're kind of like estranged. You're always in conflict. You don't see eye to eye. When you say this, they answer. They've got a different thought about it because, wow, it's you who's saying it, you know. So, guys, I hope I'm making sense. But yeah, that's what my experience has been for myself and between me and my mother and my siblings. Because yeah, when I was in boarding school, I was in boarding school, so I left them behind. So I didn't bond with them as they were growing up. I just came for holidays, 2 weeks, whatever, 1 week, and I'm gone again. So I didn't see the need to bond with them and to be close to them and to want to have the relationship. And I just felt it. And worse, I was always trying to figure out, why are we doing this? Why? I had so many whys, and no one was answering my whys. So I didn't take the effort. I didn't make the effort with my mom. I didn't make the effort with my siblings. And as we grew older, when I finished school, my siblings went to boarding school. So now they're gone. I'm back. Where are they? We're not bonding anymore. They go also and learn different principles. They come back. They're asking why. I'm gone. I'm married now. So to date, that thing has an impact. Yes, we can manage it because we're adults and we can manage relationships and start to be closer and whatnot. But that word, you can always feel it in the tension and in the disconnection. It's always there somewhere where you're like, I don't understand how you guys do things, but it's your thing, you know. And it's not a nice thing to do because your parents always want you to feel what they feel, understand what they feel, understand and all of that. And sometimes you're kind of like, I don't relate because I think like this, I'm like this, and. So that's my take and the impact from a family bonding situation. If you take your child to boarding school, make sure you fetch them. And when you fetch them from school, spend time with them to learn what they've learned, to observe them from scratch, to see what they like, to hear what they're thinking. Don't dismiss them. Yeah, boarding school teaches you what. No, don't do that because they start to just close up, you know. So just listen, learn. Oh, is that what is happening? Oh, okay. Watch. Have an open mind. Absorb so that you can learn what type of a person your child is becoming and accept and be open-minded instead of like closing and say, you'll do those things in school, not here, you know, because that's very dismissive. Spend time with them. Don't just say, oh, okay, you're back at home, you dump them, you're out going for your own things and you leave them at home. Then it's Sunday, you take them back to school. You don't have the time and give them the space to talk about their why, their feeling, the pressure. Sometimes it's the bullying that's happening, guys, in boarding school, and they want to express themselves, or they don't know how to express themselves. But as an adult, you would observe it if you were to listen closely to what they're saying. I don't like this teacher, I don't like whatever, you know. You can say, why, what's going on, but because we are so busy, we don't have time. We fetch them, we drop them at home, we go to another meeting, we go to an event, Sunday, we drop them back. Damage. If you're going to use boarding school to ease off your load, when you have to make sure you are deliberate about connecting and reconnecting. I hope that makes sense.